face, Ken?
Well, I'll watch it.
Just wait at the bar for a second. I gotta get on my way.
Kevin Westerbeck walks in, and he's very short. And so I lean over to the bar to talk to him, and I said, "Why don't you have a seat?" And he doesn't want to do it, but I said, "No, please." And so he jumps up on the bar stool.
Hey, how are you?
Well, how you doing?
Do me a favor and have a seat right over there on that stool, please.
Yeah.
He's like I just sat next to him at a sports bar or something. We were talking about, a hockey game. And I said, "What are you up to tonight?"
Well, what? She asked me to come over and...
Please, have a seat. Relax.
Come on.
Who asked you to come over exactly? Who asked you to come over?
Destiny?
Destiny. And how did you meet Destiny? How did you meet Destiny?
On a computer, she said hi and stuff.
She said hi and stuff. And who? Do me a favor and just keep your hands on your...
No, fine.
Before Westerbeck walked into the house, we knew that he was to be in court 4 days later, to go before a judge and to be sentenced for doing the very same thing he was doing on this night.
Now, Kevin, you've had some contact with the law before.
That's correct.
Tell me about that.
This child, it was a child, I forget what it is.
Child solicitation?
They said I came out to meet some girl, I guess.
So let me get this straight. You were accused of doing the very same thing that you're out doing tonight.
I had no intention of this.
All right, let's go back to the other case for a minute. You pleaded guilty
Yes.
to solicitation of a minor for sex.
It was a plea.
It was a plea.
Right.
You pleaded guilty.
Correct.
And you got sentenced for that plea, correct?
That's correct.
11 months.
Correct.
In fact, next week, on Thursday, you have to go to court.
Correct.
And they're going to decide whether or not you're going to become a registered sex offender.
Yes.
And then you're going to go to prison.
Correct.
What then are you doing in this house? Less than a week before you're supposed to be in court and go to prison for doing the very same thing.
Stupidity, because I didn't expect this to be like that.
So what, it's my fault?
No, it's not your fault. I'm not saying that.
He told me at first he was just there to talk to the girl, to hang out. What's wrong with that? Almost challenging me as to why I would question him. And then I start to read from the chat log.
She says, I like kissing. You say, would you get naked? I just don't want to get cold, she says. You say, have sex? Now, a moment ago, you told me this wasn't a sexually oriented conversation. That was a lie, too, wasn't it?
I was just talking.
Just talking.
And, little by little, his story starts to fall apart.
It would be fun, then, okay? You say, then I'm big. She says, really? Yeah, how? Then you give the dimension of your penis. That's not sexual?
Just BS talk.
Just BS talk.
To me it was.
Okay, so that BS talk got you sentenced to prison once already. And less than a week before you're supposed to go to court and prison, you are here in this house trying to meet a 13-year-old girl home alone.
I'm stupid. I'm weak. It's just this. I have no intentions of having sex with her.
Yeah. How can you say that?
It's what it says, but I didn't.
Why should I believe that?
Because I'm telling you the truth.
You didn't tell me the truth when you answered the first 6 questions I asked. You lied then.
No, I didn't plan on having sex.
Well, come on. What did you plan on doing?
I was just gonna plan on meeting her, say hi, how you doing, and that's it.
Hi, how you doing? And that's it.
And that's it.
So less than a week before you're supposed to go to court, where you're probably going to be designated a registered sex offender,
Yes.
and then you're going to go to prison.
That's correct.
For 11 months.
That's correct.
After pleading guilty to solicitation of a child for sex, You just figured, oh, I'm just going to pop in and have a nice little conversation with a 13-year-old girl. That's your story?
That is my story, sir.
It never fails during one of these investigations that 2 or 3 guys show up at the same time, and of course that was the case with Kevin Westerbeck. They're whispering to me that, there's another potential predator about to walk in. I was just finishing with Kevin Westerbeck, but I didn't want to rush through it because it was an important interview. So I finished just in time. Westerbeck leaves through one door, and the next guy comes in the other door.
Sheriff's Department.
I want you to take a seat in that chair over there. In the back of the black chair. The sheriff's office would take the handcuffs off and everything like that. Not one for the road.
No.
You understand what I mean by that?
I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. That was not my intent. I learned my lesson the first time.
Obviously not.
No.
Right? Obviously not.
Well, I wasn't coming
You're
in
chatting
here
with the 13-year-old female about your penis size on the internet, and you drove about, an hour and a half to get here to meet a 13-year-old female in the middle of the night who you knew by looking at the chats her parents weren't home. Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
When the judge in the first case hears that he's been arrested again, for doing the same thing, he's, classified as a sex offender.
I am required in this hearing to make a determination as to whether or not I believe, based upon the facts presented, the defendant will commit future sex offenses. In this case, you've made it very clear, Mr. Westerbeck, as to whether or not you'll commit future offenses. This court will make a finding, and I make this finding beyond a reasonable doubt, that you are likely to commit future crimes based upon the evidence before the court today. With that determination, the court will make a finding that you are a sexual predator.
A guy named Kevin.
Kevin.
Just looking for some fun. A hookup. Feeling frisky? Want me? Would you get naked? Have sex? I'm big. You tight? Tight down there. Could I stay the night? I just need to know you're being straight up with me and not a cop. That's what one said to a friend of mine a few months ago, and he got busted. Can I be really honest with you about something? And I don't want you to be scared or put off by what I'm going to tell you, okay? I did something stupid less than a year ago. I went to court Friday about it. My attorney and I plea bargained. This next Thursday, I go to jail for it for 11 months. I got busted soliciting. Remember I told you the story about my friend that got busted? I had to know without a doubt that I wasn't stepping into it again. That's why I kept asking you to say things, because the cops are not allowed to ask, only agree with what the other person says. And then, when you asked what color of car I had, the cop that busted me asked me the exact same question.
It's a question.